Ukifika ile time hautasema hukuambiwa nimekuwa nikisikiza Karis na unajua niambia. Mimi nahakikisha unapata hizi information. And we are about to go live on Facebook and Twitter pia, na pale kwa Insta. Sorry, not kwa Instagram, kwa YouTube. And I told you I have Zipporah in studio here, and I would like her to introduce herself even as we get ready to go live. Karibu sana Zipporah.
Wow, thank you, Karis. I'm delighted to be here this afternoon. Yes, my name is Zipporah Njoroge Gikonyo. That is the other name for the husband, Gikonyo. Yeah, I'm a CCP in the world of professional, certified credit professional, a course by CASNEB. And my area is debt management, credit training. I'm also a teacher by profession.
Wow.
So I train in a college. I'm also a CEO of a firm that does collection, does credit and debt management. So that is in a nutshell about me. So I'm a wife, of course, to one husband. And of course a man, Mr. Gikonyo. And I'm a mother of 3.
Wow.
A teenager, and the others are below the age of 13.
Wow.
So I'm happy to be in Hope FM. I love Hope FM, and I love the Switch program, and I'm happy to be here
Asante sana.
impact the youths
Karibu.
and their parents.
Wow.
Thank you.
I never knew there is like a career in like you're an expert in matters credit and like sababu watu wanachotwa. And sana sana ni due to lack of knowledge.
That's true.
You know, when it comes to borrowing, there's a lot of enticement. Inakaa vizuri sana wakati unakuwa presented na opportunity ya kuborrow.
Yes.
And young people naona advertisement ya gari nzuri, alafu anaona mshahara niko nayo, naweza ingia hapa. Kumbe anaingia mahali pa 10 years amejifunga or stuff. Yeah, so it's also very important for me to have this conversation. And you're talking about just understanding debts and loan and components of a good or bad debt, good or bad debt or loan. Let's start with from tuseme debt 101, hiyo class tunaita hivyo.
Yeah, sure.
Ndio tumekuja siku ya kwanza kwa class.
Alright.
When you have such an opportunity, where do we start? We start with you know what the debt is, and maybe loan is, just from there.
Wow. Yeah, I think I would start with what is a debt, because I know we talk about loans, and we have these products have been made available everywhere, all around us. If you go to civil servants' offices, to private companies, you always see on the notice board, do you want a quick loan? Do you want within 24 hours, within 12 hours? Others are instant. We have all number of companies that are out there offering credit. So when you're talking about a debt, basically, this is what, maybe when I look at a debt, it is money that is made available to you now, but you are required to pay at a future date. So how it is normally presented, it's like it's free money. You enjoy, but nobody ever tells you that you will come to pay for it. So when I'm talking about a debt or a loan, I normally see it as a burden or anything owed to another person. So you cannot separate yourself from it. It is money that you owe somebody else. So eventually, you have to pay the debt. Yes, so a debt involves spending future earnings at present. So nakula pesa ya kesho leo, sindio? Lakini hiyo pesa ya kesho haikuji free. You know, it's not that debts are bad, because it's obvious that our needs comes before we earn. So basically, you're also giving credit to your employer in a plan to 30 dadays unafanya kazi, atakulipa baadaye. Kwa hivyo hata yeye anapokea mkopo kutoka kwako.
Unabadilisha sura.
Exactly. So tunaangalia kama mkopo ni, unajua unapata leo ni tamu kabisa, lakini kesho yake you have to pay for it. But many times I see people who are telling you, can I have the money now today? I want it right now. But the time to pay is now. That is when you start thinking, Allah, it was with a cost. Hey, jamaa, na hiyo interest yenu iko juu sana. So I mean the reasoning comes after you have been lent the money. So that's why we are saying you are spending your future earnings today.
Wow.
So unazitumia kwa saizi. And when I'm talking about the debts, I like referring, I find a story in the book of 2 Kings, chapter 4, 1-7. And we find Elisha being approached by a widow whose husband was a servant of God. And she goes to Elisha crying, and she's asked, what is the problem? He says that my creditor, the creditor of my husband, is here and is demanding that my 2 sons to go and be servants to him. So this one, I can see that sometimes even as we take the debts, it's also good to know. Actually, the Bible says that the borrower becomes a servant to the lender.
True.
So you become a servant of the person who has lent you the money. And you cannot wish away the debt. You have to pay for it.
To pay.
Yeah. Wow. So, and it comes with a defined tenor. That is a term. So lazima ulipe. Kukopa ni lazima ulipe.
Wow.
So those are the things that we find. So we normally see when you're taking a debt or when you're taking a loan, actually, apparently we are in a predatory kind of world where people are selling the loans. They will never tell you the other side of the coin. They only show you how the money will help you, how the money will make a difference in your life. But they never tell you that this money is not for free. Because in that loan, the loan will contain the interest, which sometimes is very high.
Imeandikwa na maandishi kidogo.
Lazima utumie what we call a magnifying glass so that you are able to read. Sasa zile uko na shida Karis, hata usomangi, unamwambia ni sign wapi na wapi, unachukuanga hiyo form haraka, unamwambia when am I getting the money? So we never get to internalize that this is not free money, it comes with an interest. That money will require me to commit my incomes for a given period of time. So I'll be denying myself a given amount of the income that I earn on a monthly basis as I service the loan. So unapata huyu msee hajajipanga. Zile pesa anafaa kulipia mkopo, pale bado ndizo anatakiwa kulipia house rent. So ana choose nikae bila hao in Nairobi ama wherever you are, ama nilipe mkopo. So those are the things that we need to know. So it contains an interest and the principal. So, and that is why utapata most of the time somebody will start thinking about repaying when they have already spent the money. And that is when now you're saying, can we negotiate? And the point of negotiation was before you receive the debt. So hapo pale unajipata already ulishajifunga na kalamu mwenyewe, ukasema nimekubaliana nitaweza kulipa 20,000 kila mwezi. And probably earning 30,000. I mean, utajiuliza 20,000 nimepeana nilipe loan, na nibaki na nini ya matumizi. So those are the things that we need to understand. Even as the youth, we need to know that when you want to live in pleasure, you want to enjoy, you have to have that nice car. It comes with a cost. So it's good you sit down before you borrow. You sit down. I think in our other sessions we'll be able to ask ourselves what is contained in that, what costs are included when they are giving me a credit or the loan. Yeah. So we see a loan causes fixed cash outflows for the given period of time. Kwa hivyo lazima ukae chini, you analyze useme, manze, nitaweza kujipanga na hii pesa inabaki juu nikilipa mkopo. So most of the time unapata hatu kufanya hiyo hesabu. So wakati tumeendelea ndio unapata watoto wamefukuzwa school fees, hakuna, umepata maybe an emergency, hakuna pesa emergency, yote ulicommit kwa loan. So unapata inakuwa hard. So unasema wacha ni default, wacha huyu jamaa wa mkopo wangoje, let the bank wait, let the circle wait, let whoever wait, I sort my other issue. Kaa mbaya. Alafu unaanza kucheza ile mchezo ya paka na panya, si ndio? Najificha, simu unabadilisha, tutaangalia hiyo effects zote za mkopo along the way. So alone, therefore we say amount to repay depends on the principal, tumesema hiyo, the schedule of the loan disbursement. Unajua kuna hiyo kitu unasema wacha wanipe, nitawambia nitakuwa nalipa 20,000. Lakini me in my heart najua nitaweza kulipa only 10,000. So once you start now paying 10,000 instead of 20,000 a month, you start getting penalties. Sasa hizo penalties zinaenda zikibuild. So unajipata uko na penalties for the loan, uko na ile principal, uko na nini, then unajiuliza kwani nimelipa hii loan sijui for 6 months. I normally see people write in their social pages, wanasema nimehadaiwa, sijui nilichukua mkopo ya hii kiwango kwa huu muda, lakini nimelipa sijui for the last 1 year na hii kitu haishi. These people are stealing from me. They're not stealing from you. You are not telling us the truth. Maybe ulichukua, you were supposed to pay 20,000, lakini ukacommit 20,000, only you can afford 10. So inakuwa na penalty, inakuwa na interest, hizo vitu zote zinazidi pale. Kwa hivyo maybe as we ponder on that, our next question that I want us to ask ourselves, are loans or are debts bad? Are they bad? Is it, maybe we could answer that with a yes or a no. Debts are good, and equally debts can be bad.
From where I see it, mi naogopa sana kwa sababu nimeona watu wakichotwa, nimeona watu hata wakiaibika. Mtu hapa Thika Road miuona mambo. Gari na kataa kuenda, imezimiwa the other side. Siku hizi at least niliona wanajaribu kuficha number plate. Wakibeba gari yako.
Right, that's nice.
Mtu ametulia tu pale ndani na simu yake, anabebwa na gari yake. And I don't know, that makes me afraid of borrowing, but I also have ambitions and projects that I think nahitaji boost. So there is a part of me that says si mbaya. Plus I've also seen some people have done very big things when it comes to na loan na kukopa mahali. So I'm also here wanting to see the good and the bad as a young person. And I love that first conversation because these are knowledge that we need to have in the fingertips. Hakuna excuse saizi because hata vijana betting. Nachukua ya kubet, nachukua ya kuwekelea. Siku hizi hata unaona ndio ungare, unaona kitu unasema wacha niingie hapa kwa simu alafu ununue. And you think of it, you're like, I would have survived with this particular thing. I would have survived without it, but kuna ile pressure. Wacha niende. So as we come back, because I want us to go to the other side of the studio for business, I think we now get to, loans good or bad. Wow.
Afternoon switch. Mean your afternoon shift with Mankaris. Shajara ya biashara na Dickens Luvanda.
Alasiri njema na karibu. Mashirika ya kibayoteknolojia, utafiti na sayansi ya vyakula vikiongozwa na AATF pamoja na Wizara ya Kilimo na Mifugo yametoa wito kwa vyombo vya habari kusaidia katika kuipa jamii na wakulima kwa ujumla taarifa muhimu kuhusu vyakula vilivyokuzwa kupitia na sayansi almaarufu GMO. Kwenye mkutano na wahariri wa Kenya Editors Guild jijini Nairobi hii leo, mkurugenzi mkuu wa AATF Dr. Kwanishas Kanangire amesema kuwa vyombo vya habari nchini Kenya vimesaidia pakubwa kuelimisha jamii na kupitisha ujumbe wa ubora wa vyakula vya GMO, ila kiwango cha kukumbatia vyakula hivyo kimeendelea kuwa changamoto. Mashirika yanayojumuisha pia Kalro na Kefis ambaye anasema imekuwa mbioni kutafiti vyakula bora vinavyokuzwa kupitia GMO yanaendelea kusubiri uamuzi wa mahakama baada ya Rais William Ruto mapema mwaka huu ya kufutilia mbali marufuku yaliyowekwa mwaka 2012 ya uhalali wa vyakula na mazao ya GMO nchini Kenya. Mahakama Kuu imemteua Haven Gathok kuwa msimamizi mpya wa kampuni ya usagaji miwa na utengenezaji sukari ya Mumias Sugar. Jaji Josephine Mongare alimteua Gathok baada ya muhula wa Kareto Marima aliyeteuliwa Aprili mwaka jana na Jaji Alfred Mabea kutamatika. Hata hivyo, uteuzi wake unarejesha nyuma juhudi za kufufua kampuni hiyo iliyoko Mumias, kaunti ya Kakamega, kwani atahitajika kutafuta upya mwekezaji mpya wa kampuni hiyo na kulipa madeni yote ambayo kampuni hiyo yadaiwa. Mwisho wa shajara ya biashara hii leo, mpenzi msikilizaji, mimi ni Dickens Luvanda.
Shajara la biashara.
FM, another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministry.
Going back to the heart of worship.
Whether up the mountain or down the valley, we were created to worship God.
This is Worship Wednesday.
take it a notch higher with more worship music. Every Wednesday is Worship Wednesday. Only on Hope FM. Listen and live.
Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Nothing but the blood of Jesus. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, Gilo. See, you can sing. Do you have songs of your own I can take a listen to?
Actually, I have many songs that I haven't recorded yet, but one day.
No, not one day. Imagine this is your season. Able check this post by Hope Recording Studios.
Let me see that. It says, come record your songs at the Hope Recording Studios and get a 31% discount for the low price of 12,000 shillings, down from 17,400 shillings. Where? Call 0709-861-180 during working hours to book your slots. I mean, this is awesome.
What are you waiting for?
Hope Recording Studios, giving life to sound.
Get ready to unwind.
Oh yeah.
Relax and let Maria and Patroba guide you home on Route Yetu.
All of us populate heaven.
Yeah.
And he populates
Hell.
True. Route Yetu.
Yes, I have come to say thank you, Lord.
Ati hata mambo ikibadilika utasema ati si hata wewe ndio ulini approach, sio mimi ndio nilikuwa approach.
Men that say that, Bana. We're going to start questioning your masculinity, because why would you tell a lady that? Getting your will in your
Route Yetu, the coolest and the safest way home with Maria and Patroba. Weekdays from 4 p.m. Listen and leave.
easy concepts.
Waiting I go give to you for everything you do over and over. All the enemy meant for evil, you turn it all to good. You made me a winner forever. It's a maraza, Obu Kisiati, Ija Lavima, Otim Nabima. It's a maraza, Obu Kisiati, Otim Nabima. Chachimo, you don't take my heart home over and over. Hey. Oh my Chachimo, you don't take my heart home over and over. Joy giver, you bless me more than I deserve. You've been there for me every step of the way. Azamba. Le rocher sur qui je m'appuie, je veux chanter ton amour, je veux chanter ton amour. Yes, il love more, I didn't love more. Yes, I'm au bouquet si a dit oh, I didn't love more. Chachimo, you don't take my heart home over and over. Hey. I'm mighty Chachimo, you don't take my heart home over and over. I'm mighty Chachimo, you don't take my heart home over and over. Hey. I'm money Chachimo, you don't take my heart home over and over. Chimarobimo, Tatanzambe, Onyamekesi, Jehovah Jireh, Chimarobimo,
Chidima and Indira, Over and Over is the title of that song. We're still live on Facebook. And there's a conversation we were having here as the music was playing, and we're just talking about experiences. And I like what Zipporah ulikuwa unasema that even as we have this conversation, it's also for the youths to be equipped, sema to learn from the mistakes maybe parents have done, and to know what to look for, to even shop around. Sijaisikia nikiambiwa shop around. Unafaa ufanye shopping ya mahali
utachukua mkopo,
mahali utachukua, sikuchukua tu anywhere. Wow. So somebody writing here anasema, I think we can start with this question. I do not agree with the last statement that you could be confused about how much you should be paying back. I borrowed for a project 9 years ago, and up to now I've not even done half, and I pay religiously. Some lenders are exploiting wananchi, and I wish there could be some regulation. Borrowing for a project is very good, but the cost of the loans can be fair to Kenyans.
Wow.
Tena kuna vitu imefichwa.
Kuna vitu imefichwa chini ya carpet. Ile hatuambiangwi. Yeah, that's true. Actually, when you're taking the loan, there are so many costs that are never disclosed to you. And maybe I had thought that we would mention about those costs because we normally have the interest aspect. There are other third-party charges that are normally included pale, ambazo ni kama insurance, kuna ile tunaita excise duty ile ya serikali, kuna stamp duty, kuna cost wengine tunakuanga tumefichwa pale ndani. Kuna security registration fee ambayo uchajiwi. Yani you are charged. But it is never disclosed. Much is not disclosed to you. So unapata maybe it's a 1.5%, a 2%, a 5% pale na ambayo haikuwa pale. All those costs are loaded to the loan product. So unajipata ile mkopo haisongi. And by the way, if, maybe for those who can be able to access Excel, there is a table called amortization table. Sasa zile unataka kukopa, unaweza ingia pale kwa Excel, unachukua those, there is a template called amortization table kwa Excel. Ukifungua pale uweke ile mkopo na miaka ile utalipia, na kukalculatea, inakuonyesha interest itakuwa this much na principal itakuwa this much. And most of the time, do you know what? Half tenor, that is they have a loan period. Kama loan ni 10 years, the first like 5 years utapata ni kama you are only paying interest. So the component that is usually high is the interest. So we una keep saying nimelipa mkopo yangu for this number of years, haisongi. Ukitisha statement hata ujaanza. So because the ratio is usually to the higher side, on the side of the interest. So unalipa interest kwanza because that is the income of the lender. Anataka kurecord income yake. Sasa wakati utaanza, sasa as time goes by, now the principal amount inaanza kuwa kubwa ile unalipia. So those are some of the technical issues and things that you will never understand. So maybe we'll also handle that question as we are now doing our second part. As far as is all loans bad, are loans good?
So we'll talk about the nitty-gritties. Vitu ziko hapo, so that pia ujue.
Yes, that's true.
Vijana hawana excuse. Hata akina mom na akina dad sasa after hii conversation hawana excuse. Tulikuwa hapo kwa loans bad or loans good.
Yes. Wow. Nice. Napendanga scripture. Naika scripture pale.
Ndio maana uko hapa.
Ndio, nasema James 4:3. Nasema James 4:3 nasema you ask and do not receive because you ask amiss, that you may spend it on your pleasure. Hiyo tu ni neno la Mungu sasa, on spending on pleasure. Sawa. Sasa tukikuja upande wa loan, is a loans bad? A loans good? Sasa kwanza number 1, inategemea what is the purpose of the loan. Hiyo mkopo unachukua ni ya kufanyia kazi gani? So that is determinant number 1. Ile ingine tunaulizana, unakopa kutoka kwa nani? Sijui kama mtu amekaa chini kuangalia this online, tunaziita online ama mobile lenders. Angalia tu ile interest uchajiwa pale. You find that it is a total rip-off. Kama nakubaliana na our listener hapa anasema it's a rip-off indeed. Because unapata kwamba wale lenders wengine wao hawako controlled na maybe like a central bank, they are not controlled. So it's a business, and you know most people motive in business is to make profits. So the higher the interest rate, the more the profits they are going to make. Alafu pia huwa wanacalculate, wanaona si kila mtu atalipa hii mkopo. Kwa hivyo wewe mwenye unalipa unajipata pia ana take advantage ya wewe mwenye unalipa juu kuna wale ambao watalipa. Sasa ndio asifunge biashara yake. But that is what we are saying, those are not, it's not ethical. Yeah, we need to also consider the borrower as well. And that is why tunajipata sasa tunaanza kuulizana ni nini lenders huangalia ndio wanigate kama nina qualify for a product. Yeah, and I think as we are having this conversation, we are there's a motion, I think something we have taken to Parliament. We want to look at a credit where credit professionals have also an act so that they stop now like predatory lending. So a good loan or a bad loan depends on the purpose. Ni ya kazi gani, umechukua ya nini. Kama huyo ametuambia alikopa ya project. Question number 1, is that project bringing an income? So unajiuliza kama haileti income, jua kwamba hiyo project itakuwa inakula zile pesa. Tulisema ni spending future earnings at present, si ndio? Tulisema pale. So using a loan or a credit card to finance lifestyle, zile pleasure tumeongea juu yake pale, is a bad strategy. If you're borrowing, unajua kuna watu who borrow waende holiday. Si ndio? Wanaenda holiday, ikishaisha hapo ndio unakujanga, especially when you borrow for maintaining a lifestyle. It will be so painful when you start repaying. And most of those loans that were not of benefit, you know, direct benefit, unapata kwamba zimekuwa default. So unapata mtu anakuambia hata sijui nilifanyia hizo pesa nini, hata siwezi account even for a shilling. Anakuambia tu ile labda nilitumia ilikuwa tu maybe like maybe 10,000 tu na labda na alinunua nini, labda alinunua TV. Ndio. So we also see that taking a loan, so tunasema using a loan to finance your expenses is a bad strategy. Hizi vitu ambazo ni you can do without, you know. Then tunasema taking a loan to buy asset which can increase earning, that is a good loan. So a good loan is the one, if you are purchasing an asset, is it an asset that is going to generate some income along the way? If it's going to generate income, well and good. Some assets like, najua kama we mwanarika pia, unataka kununua plots, you know, the way you keep advertising mashamba.
Kwanza, uko kwetu Central, kama una kashamba, kama ujatoboa.
Wewe tu ko nje, sindio?
So, kwanza ulizari kena nyumbani, koraika gapi.
Sure. So that's what we are seeing. Sometimes you may buy that asset, but instead of increasing in value, in a decrease. Unapata? So pale in a decrease, remember pale kuna interest ambayo inazidi kuongezeka pale. So unapata at the end of the loan, ukimaliza kulipa, ile asset ulinunua imedepreciate, value yake iko chini. Hata ukitaka kudispose, you can't recover the money you purchased with, the interest you have paid, the other costs you have incurred. So we can also say that assets that do not generate earnings or whose value decreases in comparison to amount of interest paid is a liability. Unajua in account tunaongea juu ya assets na liabilities. So if that asset is inakuitisha, na ndio hapo tutaenda kuulizana hiyo swali ingine, is a personal car an asset or a liability? Kichukua mkopo, si ndio? So tunaona kama hiyo asset umenunua, it's not generating an income, hiyo itakuwa mkopo mbaya. Kama hauna uwezo na ujapanga your finances, hapo unajipata uko kwa matatizo. So another one, bad loan is taking a loan to start a business.
Hapa ndio nataka nikuulize,
taking a loan to
kwanza biashara, because sasa vijana wataanzaje, watafanyaje kazi, wataestablish aje biashara zao bila pesa? Na sasa tunasema create employment, create your own employment.
Ndio. Bas, wacha sasa nimesema kuna pahali nataka to underline to start a business. Nimeunderline hapo. But taking a loan to expand a business is a good idea. So most people want to start a business in a big way. Anataka kibiashara man, ukipita pale unapata kukona iko well stocked, iko na vitu mzuri, iko street ya, unajua tunasema huku juu ya Moi Avenue, ndio? Utaki huko chini, utaki kuanza kidogo. You see, that is now where most people go wrong. And if you share this with many parents, with the older generation, they will always tell you, hii shida yangu yote ilianza wakati nilianza hii biashara. Because alifanya nini? Alianza ile biashara kwa kukopa. Na hata ujajua market, ujajua whether there are customers who want the product you are selling. Unapata mtu ameanza biashara, amefungua hardware kubwa, akanunua mabati akajaza. Kule watu wataki mabati. There are things for repairs, maybe, hizo vitu za interior. Sasa mabati yako pale imelalisha pesa. Customers wanakuitisha zile vitu hauna. Kule hii ni mkopo pia, you are not selling. So unapata biashara mingi ambazo mtu alikopa aanzishe zinaanguka. So that is consider as a youth, unataka kuanza biashara, start small. Usitake kuanza big. It's not the big that makes money. Start small, test the waters. Have a relationship maybe with a lender, with a circle, hivyo. Sasa hata ukichukua utaweza chukua kidogo kidogo, unalipa, una grow. But most people are not patient. They want to kilon. Tunajua tunapigiwa simu. Unaambiwa, mbona hauchukui? Si ukujie na una qualify this much. It's not about what you qualify. It is what do you want to do with the money? What is your purpose? So a bad loan is the one we take without a purpose. A bad loan is the one we take to start a business. To start. Zingine labda umeshajua iko sawa na umeambiwa, lakini most of the time utapata new business ukikopea unaenda chini. Yeah.
Plus hata mtu akikwambia hiyo biashara iko sawa, yeye anafanya ni relationship yake na clients wake. Wewe uja build relationship yako na clients
exactly. Ni kweli. So inachukua muda mrefu. So that is what we are saying. And why should I not take a loan for a new business? I think until it is tried, a business idea is just but a wish. So tunaona until umeanza, umejua, hapo ndio utasema hii biashara yangu inaniweza. So that is we can say that a loan is good, fine, lakini purpose, kwanza kaa chini na ulize purpose. Ni ya kazi gani? And maybe with time we'll maybe as we continue, we look at a number of things that we need to do. So maybe that question, maybe I ask you as Karis, is a personal car an asset or a liability?
I have a car. It is a liability.
Mbona ibu ambia wanarika. Juu wanapata kazi hivi, the first thing ananunua Subaru. Si ndio? Ya kwenda Naivasha.
Kama ingizi ndo.
Tuambie, is a car an asset or a liability?
I will say it's for me, where I see it. Iko ya loan, but ni liability already. Sasa na imagine mtu amechukua loan kununua gari.
Yes.
I will say it's a big no.
It's a big no.
And maybe you need the car, but maybe you do not need the model of the car that you are riding right now.
Yes.
Yeah, so naweza sema wisdom. Afadhali liability kidogo kuliko liability kubwa. That's how I'll see it. Yes.
Wow.
But for us, maybe around Kanairo, you'll look at a car as a very important thing, going to work, taking your family to shugulis and stuff. So that might be the reason why you see young people are driving these cars out there from loans or other savings. I don't know. But if it's not bringing in, I'll see it as a sure. Maybe think of a car before we think of the car. Yes, that's how I'll say it.
That will move you from point A to point B. Usitake class.
Kangu nikakusonga tu.
Na ukitaka class, si unachukua kauba. Unaitisha gari nzuri ama kaha ya. Wakati unataka kwenda mahali, unataka kufunguliwa gate kwa heshima. But taking a loan to buy a car, I know of so many young people who have taken serious loans to purchase a car. Then they park the car. Alafu unaongezea na credit card, my friend, ya kufuel. So shida zako zinaenda zikiongezeka. So I think that is something that we need to think of. So think of first the purpose. Think of the loan will be good. From whom am I borrowing? Ni nani huyu ananikopesha? Because that is also a bad loan can be a bad because of the person who lent you the money.
I think from the conversation we've lined up, I think we'll talk about maybe things to look out for before you consider a loan from a particular lender or something, because from just what you've just shared, mimi hata nasikia ni kama it's a serious thing. Sio kitu tu ya kuingia tu kwa simu na kuchukua hiyo 50k. Sio kitu tu ya kuingia tu kwa bank na kusema this is my income, nipatieni 5 million. It's a serious thing. And sadly shida zetu ndio zinatukimbiza mbio hivyo. Mungu atusaidie. Lakini pia we can do due diligence when it comes to these things. Naona ni serious thing hapa. Hata nimeogopa zaidi.
Usiogope kwa sababu with time as we continue with this conversation later days tutaangalia ni how can I build my capacity to borrow. So that niko na hiyo nime create room na nime join sacco, nina save, nafanya hizo mambo zote tutaangalia so that you have an option of borrowing. Yani hautadepend na mtu mwenye anakupigianga simu, mwenye amekupea flyer kwa street, mwenye ameweka kimbao. So you will choose the bond you want to choose. Kuna
relative wangu karibu tupigane vibaya sana. I got a call. Kauliza wewe ni wao tunakujia kichwa yako. Kichwa yangu aje? So itoka loan nakaweka mimi kama guarantor mahali. And naona WhatsApp mtu ametafuta hata picha ya mtoto amenitumia. Alisema tayarisha mazishi. Usipotu. I was like, how are these people operating? Leta kwa polisi na polisi wananiambia hakuna kitu ita happen. I was like, if anything happens I'm suing the government. Juu alirahisisha hiyo mambo. But like you see it's even giving people opportunities kuweka watu wengine kwa mashida. Inakuwa that easy. Nitaika kazini yangu, niko na namba ya shosho, nitaika shosho, niko na namba ya anko, nitaika anko.
Hata ID anaweka pale.
Na ni vijana wanafanyia vijana wenzao hivi. So tukimalizia this part one of this conversation, the attitude that a young person should have concerning debts and loan inafaa ikuaje?
The attitude.
Like sina lakini inafaa kuiangalia hivi.
I think it's unfortunate that some of us also started with loans, that is education loans, and they looked so sweet kwamba zilikuwa ni kama free money, lakini eventually tuli have kuanza kulipa.
I'm paying almost 10 years later, still
exactly
paying.
You're still paying, but it's good to visit and know whether the loan is still labda ulishamaliza. So ni vizuri kuangalia. So I think number one, the attitude towards a loan is that one should be, it's not free money. Yes. And it's not just as it looks. You need to dig further to know hii pesa nikipatiwa nitarudisha zikiwa pesa ngapi, na hiyo maswali ya kujiuliza nitalipa aje, because I think our attitude is let me have the money, hiyo mambo ingine ni ya baadaye. So I think we need to be sober when we are making a decision to borrow. Sleep over it, shop around, ask. You have parents who are experienced, you have colleagues who are experienced. Don't just rush into taking a loan without seeking some advice, shopping around and knowing who are the best. I normally see a report that is normally prepared and given out in the market. Mostly it appears, I think, in the Business Daily. It shows the those lenders that are cheap, expensive, and they just show you and the hidden costs that are normally there. So the attitude should be a loan is not free money. It comes with a cost.
Wow.
Right.
No, Japange, do due diligence.
Yes.
And people appreciating this conversation. Dennis Mugera anasema I'm learning so much. Mary Mwikali also anasema I'm here to learn and learn. And of course, knowledge is power. You have to be very willing to learn.
Sure.
Kwa sababu ukishajua then unajua nitaenda left ama nitaenda right. And we don't want you to be ignorant at the expense of we are here. So we're going to be doing this even next Tuesday, God willing. And thank you so much Zipora and Njoroge for coming through. And mimi naweza piga kelele hapo mpaka kesho, lakini when an expert comes here and speaks, inakuwa beneficial kwangu na inakuwa beneficial kwa listeners pia. So nasema asante kwa kukubali mwaliko. So anybody, maybe somebody who has a question or a follow-up question they will want to, first of all, I encourage you to write in so that I compile those questions. I think we can have a question and answer session before tumaliza hii series. But also maybe it's burning. How can somebody reach you?
All right. They can reach me on my line, which is 0722 68 114. They can reach me on that. I'm also in the social pages. I'm on Facebook, Zipporah Njoroge. I think I'm also in YouTube as well. Yeah, there. Yeah. So you can reach us in any form that maybe that is easier for you. And I think I can say it is a pleasure sharing this knowledge. Yeah, to the people out there, and especially the youth. They are at my heart. Yeah, I like mentoring the youth. Yes.
Wow.
And maybe...
And you're in the right place.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Maybe?
I know somebody who's listening.
Musharime.
Nasalimia Jane Muathi akiwa kwa nyumba. She's a listener of Hope FM in my house in the kitchen. She keeps listening. So Jenny, I say hello. I say hello to James. I say hello to Mary and all the others at Tumaini, CDMS, wote tunawasalimia.
Wamesalimika. Fikisha special greetings kutoka kwangu.
All right.
And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in.